Long ago in a lush African jungle filled with life and color, there lived a tortoise. Unlike the other animals, Tortoise was known not for his strength or speed, but for his cleverness and his greed. Tortoise was always scheming to take more than his fair share, yet his smooth shiny shell gave him an air of dignity that fooled many animals into trusting him. One day the birds of the jungle prepared for a grand feast in the sky, where the gods had promised them a banquet of delicious foods. Tortoise, hearing about this, approached the birds with a sly smile. "My dear friends," he said, "would you not take pity on a poor earthbound creature like me? Surely you would not deny me the joy of such a feast." The birds, though hesitant, felt sorry for Tortoise and agreed to help him. Each bird plucked a feather and gave it to him, until Tortoise had enough feathers to create wings for himself. With his new wings, Tortoise soared into the sky with the birds. For the first time he felt the wind, but as they neared the feast, Tortoise began to plot. "I must make sure I get the best of everything," he thought. "After all, I am the most important." When they arrived, the guards welcomed them with a grand feast laid out on golden plates. Tortoise, always thinking ahead, addressed the birds with the devious smile. "My dear friends," he began, "in my culture, it is customary to take a new name before attending such an important event. My new name shall be all of you." The birds were puzzled but agreed, thinking it harmless. When the food was served, the guards announced, "This feast is for all of you." Tortoise, now grinning with greed, sat down and ate everything. The birds watched in anger, as Tortoise devoured the feast, leaving them with nothing. After the feast, the birds were furious. "You tricked us," they cried in their rage. They took back the feathers they had given him, leaving Tortoise stranded in the sky. Without wings, he had no choice but to let go and fall. As Tortoise hurled towards the ground, he shouted to the animals below, "Please place something soft to break my fall." When Tortoise hit the ground, his smooth shiny shell shattered into pieces. He was alive, but forever marked by his greed. From that day on, Tortoise's shell was cracked and rough, a reminder to all animals of the price of dishonesty and selfishness. The animals gathered under the great tree, reflecting on the lesson learned from Tortoise's greed. His cracked and rough shell stood as a reminder to everyone. Dishonesty and selfishness come with a price. This tale reminds us that greed and deceit may bring temporary gain, but often lead to lasting consequences. As the sun set over, the African jungle harmony returned. The cracked shell of Tortoise stood as a lasting reminder to all creatures. Wisdom lies not in the greed but in honesty and unity. Do you think Tortoise deserved his fate? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more African folktales.